Hello and welcome back to the You Up podcast. I'm Jordana Abraham.
And I am Jared Freed. We are here on a Sunday special. We love a Sunday special, right?
Love it. Can't beat it.
Can't beat it. Bite-sized episode. Great to send to the group chat. Great for the fodder. You know, you get one and out. We have an update.
Yes. On a previous, was it a Sunday special, the previous one? I don't remember, but it was a past email.
It was a previous Sunday special.
Yeah.
And it was I remember it got, we saw things that maybe wouldn't have been picked. This is why I love this podcast. Like, the discomfort with, like, she writes in her response, let's go through it. You want me to read it?
Why don't you read it?
Okay.
This was the episode where the woman wrote in and she was talking about, should she make a move on her friend who lived a little far away, who kind of kept flaking out on her a little bit, but she wanted to shoot her shot. And was there any more context?
Yeah, I think that was it. They worked. They were similar professions.
Did she say that she was bisexual?
She had, I think, the way she described it was demisexual.
Yes, that was it.
So she was queer. He is demisexual, or he was exploring that, and we were debating like being interested in smarter people.
Right.
Yes. Oh, right. I forgot.
Where we said our sexuality was being attracted to idiots.
Yeah,
yes.
stupid sexual.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm into.
All right, well, let's read it. Yeah.
So this is the update. Hi, Jange. And if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it, the discussion. I thought it was a good episode. Thank you so much for addressing my question on a recent Sunday special. I wrote in regarding breaching the friend zone with my former law school classmate. Your advice was clear, comprehensive, thoughtful, and right on point. Jared, in particular, I appreciate your perspective on how he might feel trepidation around making the first move given my sexual orientation. What motivates people given his flakiness around friend time meetups and encouragement to pursue a casual sexual connection. I remember, and this is back to like why I like doing this show, like, listen, these are uncomfortable subjects that you're not sure, I really believe no one wants to be the bad guy.
Right.
And I do understand, like, hey, listen, I'm not sure of the sexual orientation where I kind of fit into this. I'm going to back away.
For sure.
So it is interesting. It was interesting, I remember. I took both of your advice and texted him last Wednesday that I had been thinking of him in a different way lately, particularly since he recently brought up his own potential demisexuality to me. Harry was initially hesitant, but then seemed all about it. He initiated a flirty, sexy text exchange, and we made plans for some Netflix and chill time when I got back into town. By the end of that night of flirty texting, Harry kind of went all sad boy on me. Nothing sexier than that. Like he had already jerked off and was now in post-nut depression, self-loathing. He told me he had only orgasmed with 2 people before because of his self-conscious and reduced sensitivity. I shared with him honestly that I share the struggle with new partners and assured him I wouldn't make a quest out of anything. So as to ease the potential pressure, he said he never feels sexy. He's really bringing the sexting. I tried to engage twice over the next few days to no avail. By Sunday, he was texting me that he was canceling our meetup. He said that he didn't feel ready for intimacy of any kind with any person, not just me. He said he doesn't have the bandwidth for giving anything, even in a friends with benefits situation. All in all, I'm glad I got answers. I got the answer that yes, he is sexually attracted to me. Yes, he has thought of me that way before. Yes, we could be sexually compatible, but his bandwidth is low. He doesn't have the energy, or he's not interested enough to make the energy and time, which granted can be difficult to do when you're defending murder clients like Harry is when he is not teaching as an adjunct at our law school. I'll be the first to admit my ego is a bit bruised, but c'est la vie.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie?
It's okay.
Okay.
If only Maddie were here.
She would have crushed me. The French major. In this house, it's c'est la vie.
Okay. Now she's gone. She can't do anything about it.
Right. Candace, are you a French major?
I think she's
of any
probably
kind?
also a c'est la vie person.
I took French for 5 years.
Also, do you not remember C'est la vie by Bewitched?
Yes.
Like that's
kind of how I fully remember it.
I've always read it c'est la vie.
Oh, you have not.
C'est la vie? That's how it's
C'est la
read?
vie.
I will look at you differently every single day.
C'est la vie.
I've ruined so early in our relationship.
You really thought
Candace.
it was c'est la vie?
I read it at c'est la vie.
Okay,
I'll be out there.
I thought this was your crusade against the French, and I was going to let it go until
Oh,
you were
until
really authentic about it.
Fra.
Fra. I know say la vie.
Yeah.
That nothing has ever made me sound more Jewish in my entire
Say la
life.
vie.
I know say la vie. Okay. Okay. Everyone's gonna. This sound like my mom. You gonna gang up on me? Yeah, I know say la vie.
Listen, I pronounce a million things wrong on this show, so no judgment here. Small judgment.
Listen,
just a little bit of judgment.
We are all judging.
Okay.
It's okay. Listen.
It's okay. She's the professor. You're not the professor.
Yeah, I'm the student.
Right.
I mean, listen. We're admitted disgustings. I'm
Tried
also
and
an
true.
admitted idiot.
As we do.
My ego will heal. So will mine. That's la vie. Say la vie. I wish I could give something, but I wasn't able to. I don't fail him for that, even if his approach could have been better. My ego will heal. That's the price of admission, right? What do you think?
Well, this was one of our scenarios. He does seem like he has like almost like a fear of seeing people in person.
Yeah, well, it does go to show you this ain't all about you.
Yeah.
There's two people with two emotional states with their own baggage. It's funny that her ego is bruised. It's like he gave a pretty legitimate, hey, I don't have the energy for this. Like,
yeah.
It
seems like he was like attracted to her and then he just kind of needed to come.
Right.
And then he did.
Well, that does happen.
Yeah.
I will say from the male point of view.
You talk about that a lot, yeah.
I've talked about it a lot. You do have this thing where you're like, let's go out, and then you come on it.
Yeah.
You think on it, but you come on it. And you go, do I want to leave?
Better for her. She didn't have to make the trip. She now knows what the deal is.
I think I think this is like
A success story.
I agree. You got the answers you wanted. He got the answers he got the answers maybe to what he wants.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
was
like,
confused,
I want to get out
probably.
there, and then wow, this really shows me I need more time.
Yeah. It seems like he's feeling a little insecure and maybe like not great about himself.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, when you start texting with someone, then you go, I don't know if I can do this. I just don't feel sexy anymore. It's like, this is not what she was
Right.
probably signing up for.
yeah, but better to know that ahead of time. So
Absolutely. So what are we talking about today? We have an email.
We have a deal reveal.
Before we get to the deal reveal, live shows. We have already done the Philly show.
this Thursday, no, it's coming
No?
up. This Thursday is
Is
our
the Philly
Philly
show.
show. And
Get
I
those
don't know if
tickets.
we already have submissions for Philly. We might not. But if you're coming to any of the other shows, if you're coming to Boston, New York, DC, and you want to submit your dating app profile or for a dating app makeover, or you want to submit a deal reveal or anything else that we do during the show,
A faux pas or nah, red flag,
Anything,
deal breaker,
yeah.
whatever you want to submit. We love it's always more fun when they come from in the room. It's always more fun. We can bring you on stage. We love bringing you on stage. We are not meanies. We're going to be nice. We're going to be fun. You're going to have a good
all
time.
in good fun.
We give you some, some walk away prizes for joining us.
Yes.
It's just a really nice time. And your group chat will die laughing and you'll have it on tape and it'll be funny. So, yeah, you got to send them
making
in.
memories, as they say.
Right. But we don't do it on the premises. We don't say, like, does anybody have
Yeah,
a...
we're more prepared than that.
Right. So send it in. UUP@betches.com, UUP@betches.com. Title it live show. Let us know what town you're going to be in. Title it live show. Let us know the town. And then come on out. Let's
do
make it
this.
happen. Send in your situation so we can gnaw on the bone of the situation. Just like
Exactly.
we're going to do with this one. All right. Let's do the deal reveal.
All right. Hi, J&J. Feather, thanks for doing the Lord's work. A friend of mine sent you to the group chat and have been an avid listener ever since. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
That is feather to the that is the best feather.
Yes.
And to those wondering, I explained feather. I got
Yes.
more messages.
More? Really? I feel like we explain this every few weeks.
Every few weeks. Yeah. There's a new person who wants to know feather.
Anyone, if you're new to the show.
It's the feeling that I get when someone sends it to the group chat just like this. It feels like a feather is stroking my nuts. Just a little tiny feather up and down the seam.
And for those of us without testicles, it's just a pleasant, nice feeling.
Testes or no testes, feather for all.
There you go.
So-
That's your platform.
I'm running for governor.
Below, and also send this podcast to your group chat just because they might not all know.
Right, and if they're wondering.
Below, I attached a deal reveal that I had with my last 2-monther. We met off Hinge and everything was going great. He would plan dates for every week, even planned a double date with his best friend and his girlfriend, the occasional sleepover, etc. Until the infamous trip. Beware. Sound like a scary, like a Halloween.
Beware of the weekend trip to New Orleans.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
We both had separate trips with our friends the same weekend. Ever since then, everything just started spiraling down. Long response times, short answers, not making plans. The works. That's what I call the works. I'll take the works. I decided to take your advice.
Long response times, short answers, not making plans.
I know this all too well.
Yeah.
As Taylor says. I decided to take your advice and figure out what was going on. See screenshots below. Okay, so they have been dating a 2-monther, met off Hinge. Everything
and
going
she
great.
wants answers.
Yes. Okay. I'll be her. Hi. And this is okay. Hi.
I love how this starts.
Hi. Random. but
Not random at all.
totally random. Haven't been thinking about this at all. Hi. Random. But is everything good? I feel like things have been kind of off. Just wanted to make sure we were both on the same page. I'm not really looking for anything casual. I know we never really talked about it, but I just want to let you know where I'm at. I really like you, but I'm kind of confused on how you feel. If you feel differently, that is fine. I would just like to know so as not to waste anybody's time.
If this text, it should be in the Smithsonian. It's like so universal.
Yeah.
Like this text.
I think it's a great text.
It's a great text, but I'm just saying, like, I've seen this text. I've gotten this text. I've
sent this text. Yes.
I just the lines. It's like a tale as old as time. It's just so crazy how alike we all are. You know, like
Yeah, people have been sending a version of this for centuries.
right. A tale as old as time.
Yes.
Random, but is everything good?
I have to say, when you are receiving the works, when you've ordered the works,
Right.
this is the only thing you can do. Otherwise, you just sit there thinking about it over and over and over again.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, there's only one move.
Yes.
There's
What
two
else can you
moves.
do?
Nothing. You back away from it and you go, I guess it's
But it's
over.
harder to leave when you don't have an answer.
Right.
So I think this is for her.
This is for
Yeah.
her. So he responds, I agree. It has felt a little weird by his own making.
Yes. So weird. How does that happen?
And probably because we haven't hung out in a while, too. I like you, too. But if I'm being 100% honest, how about you be 10% honest? If I'm being 100% honest, I'm not sure if I see it long term. I'm trying not to sound rude, but be honest.
No, not rude at all. I much rather know where your head is at now than a month or two more down the road. Appreciate you being honest. Wish you all the best.
I agree. And of course, I wish you the best, too.
And she says,
You know, it's so funny. It's like, when do you say that? You know, I guess, like, I'm defending
well,
this other side of things. I do think he saw the trip as an opportunity.
you think but it seemed like he had a marked change. I mean, let me finish the
Okay, go ahead.
I was very sad about the response, but especially now. It has been about a month since, but I can't help but overanalyze the message. At the time, I thought he was just saying he wasn't ready for a relationship, but now my overthinking brain can't help but think he does want a serious relationship, but just not with me. I got off the apps right after because I wasn't in the right headspace. Any advice for going forward? Thanks. Not worthy, batch. Oh, I don't like that sign off.
Well, that's the problem. Her perspective is negative.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, she's not right to, I can't tell her how to feel because she feels not worthy. And it's hard to tell this person you are worthy and you're right about what he's saying.
Right.
You know, like it's hard to be like, listen, when she says, I can't help but think he does want a serious relationship, but not with me. Yeah. I don't.
But that's every single person that ends things
Right.
with you.
And
Every single person doesn't want a serious relationship, wants a serious relationship with someone eventually. Yes.
right. And that's the so if you go down that negative, tunnel, it's hard to not feel so negative and not worthy. I understand what she's saying. He is not thinking of it that way.
Right.
When he says, because listen, I've been that guy where I'm like, hey, something is not,
Well,
the puzzle pieces don't fit together for me. And I know it's been a short time because, she's,
what do you think is his plan? Is my question with this. Let's say she didn't send this text. What was
Right.
his plan? Having felt this way.
we don't have a lot of good plans. If
Like
I'm
just
gonna be
wait it
honest.
out until he gets called out.
Well, I guess
Be slowly and slowly less like that Simpsons going into the bush thing.
right. Fade into the
Right.
mist. The classic slow fade. I used to have a name for it. The classic slow
Slowly.
fade.
I mean, that is a but it's kind of like, was that his plan?
Well, there's the person you want to be, and then the person you are, and you you really don't find out the person you are until you're put in the position to be the person you are, and like because that's my
Your
question.
true colors.
True colors.
as they say.
Well, that's the thing. Like when this is back to my question to you. I guess I'll answer your question with a question. Is I agree. It felt a little weird because you're texting less. It's like whatever, and probably because we haven't hung out in a while too. That's a lie. It's because I don't think we're a long-term match.
Right. So I've been backing away.
So
So that would have been a lot more refreshing to hear a little bit.
I guess if you could rewrite the text, if I was to find that text, I wouldn't. My 38-year-old, I'd take this young buck aside and be like, let me refresh this text for you.
Yeah. If you were going to inject him with truth serum.
My truth serum would be, if I was to write the text, if it was truth serum,
Yeah.
what he's saying in my professional
Yes.
opinion.
Without having, let's say he didn't want to have to worry about being rude, as he said.
Hey, I am attracted to you. I think you're great. I don't see long-term potential of us in a match. I really wish I could tell you why. There's things on my list. They would all sound kind of stupid and frivolous to you, and things that you probably maybe think, oh, we can work through that. But I don't really want to do that. I don't want to I don't want to put the energy towards that. I'd rather find someone
Who already has all these things.
who's for me right out of the box.
Right.
And honestly, if you had never said anything and you texted me and we're on the same page, and I was kind of hoping you were on the same page as me, that this could be a hookup at some point, but all's well be's well type of thing.
Did you really think that was like, do guys ever actually think that women would be like interested in that?
No,
We're on the
well,
same
that's the thing.
page?
There's no plan.
Right.
But I think that's, if this is, again, me connecting the dots, looking backwards of like, hey, I think there's that thought, like, because sometimes we hear from women that are like, I never saw it as anything more. We were just, and you're like, well, how did I get to that box? How do I?
Why do we hear from them then?
Oh, because, hey, just check. There's a thing of, again, he doesn't want to, if I was to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
When you hear back from someone, that's kind of them being dishonest. I'm being nice to you because I don't want to have to text you that this is over, but I also don't want to, it's no problem to write back, yeah, the day was fun. How was your day?
Right.
There's a certain amount of, we all want to be comfortable.
It feels weird, I guess, to say that out of nowhere. I guess like the opportunity to say that would be if she had asked him to do something, right? Let's say she had said, do you want to get drinks next week? Like instead of being, I think what a lot of guys do is like, because of what you were saying, that fear of being rude or wronging someone, you might be like, I don't know, like we'll see. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure what my schedule is going to look like or something like that. When like, that's actually a great opportunity to say this thing.
Right. Let's say they went on a date, then they go on the double date. To go back to her email, she says they went on a double date with his best friends. So I do understand why she's like, maybe they met me. I understand where the insecurities come from.
Yeah.
The unworthiness.
She's
I
anxious.
Met the friend.
She's spiraled.
He had me in playing the part of girlfriend tonight. Will be Nancy.
I must have like failed the audition.
I guess so.
Yeah.
It's probably where she's thinking. And I don't think it's that. The one thing people should take away from the male perspective that I give, it's not as deep as it feels. It's not as plotted as it feels. Nothing's planned. Nothing's plotted. There's no love language that's been thought of. There was no, let me put her in with the friend. Maybe he put her in with the friends, and if she thought it went well, it did go well.
Yeah. Or, maybe you went on a trip, you hooked up with someone. Said, I kind of like being single.
Right. Things can change.
Yeah.
And listen, I've been at the girlfriend at the friends thing where there was a fight with my friends.
What do you mean?
Like I brought someone I was dating on like a double date with like my friends in that playing the part of girlfriend tonight, and there was like a literal argument between this person and my friends.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
It was
then
very
that would be a
uncomfortable.
fail.
Right. that was a moment that I could go, well, I can't really figure out how we
Work.
work
If
when
this early, it's already a thing.
right. When you went on but I've never brought a girl to the friends and had it go well and them go, oh, she's wonderful, and then gone, didn't pass the test. You know, like I don't think it's that. I'm trying to make her feel better by saying, I just don't think it was that. But I don't think he would have like a very depthy explanation of like, I am looking for a girlfriend, but you didn't. He wouldn't even know what to say.
Right.
I just don't know when, like, let's say they hooked up, she goes on the friend thing, and then after the friend thing, he decides, you know what, I don't see the long-term potential. It just didn't feel right for me. It didn't feel like home.
Right.
Because I've had that feeling, or I've been on with someone and I'm gone, it just doesn't feel like a family. It doesn't feel like I don't see it. I don't know why. I can't say it. It's not that they're not great. It's just not for me. When do you say that? The next day, and then you're, again, I think a lot of times the women who write in here, they're expecting an inhumane action from a human. Like
What do you mean?
The idea of like, chop off my fucking head.
Yeah. That's what you want.
Again, right. Which I understand why it's wanted, but I also don't.
It's unrealistic.
It's unrealistic.
Because most things are in between those things. But I understand the desire for that because it kind of makes you things feel clean, or like I'm not living in an in-between world. And I mean,
and when his time, sorry to interrupt, but his time isn't, he's not worried about whatever age he is.
Yeah.
He's not thinking in those terms of like, well, let's work this out because I found a good one.
Right. Let me make it work. He's clearly not in that headspace. I mean, I also kind of feel like, again, like she calls it her overthinking brain, and I agree with that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we try to make sense of everything that happened, and it can feel like such a rejection. So now her brain is telling her to like problem solve. Like this, he did want a relationship. He just didn't want it with you. Like they're doing something wrong. There's something wrong with you. And like, it can almost feel more soothing to have like to re-go over that thought in your head, because you're like, if I could just figure out what I did wrong, then I can fix it and this won't ever happen again. And it takes away any of the idea of like, when it's supposed to happen, it just happens naturally and easily, and it's not something you did. It's just something that will happen. Which
is, to his credit, he's kind of operating that way.
Yeah.
He's like giving himself to the vibes and the mix and the elixir, and she's kind of like, let me math this out.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's you did nothing wrong.
Right.
Like you're not unworthy.
And I get why it seems personal, because it always feels personal. Any rejection always feels personal, but like the goal isn't to never get rejected.
No, the goal is to find the right person. Yeah, I felt bad. I feel bad for her because it's like.
And I've done what she's done. Where something, you get dumped, and then you're like, how do I like become a person who doesn't ever get dumped? And like, that seems like it should be the goal, but that's not like, that's a person that appeals to no one because they've appealed to everyone.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right. I mean, there's no good comedian who's everyone loves.
Everyone loves. Exactly. So it's like the goal isn't to never get rejected.
Well, it's funny or to never reject, like, it's funny. I see this and I'm like, it's been a long time since I've had the 2-monther conversation. I've been having the like
3-day
2 week,
okay.
Like 1 week. I sent a text that was very similar to his of like, well, I got in front of it. Hey, I've been being weird. This is why.
That's better. I mean, I think the older you are, maybe like the more you do that.
Right.
Because you realize that it's more mentally taxing for you to be in limbo just as much as it is for them.
Right. I don't want to keep answering your really nice texts and being nice. I just want to let you know, like, and I don't want to be the one backing away.
So that we can both stop speaking to each other. Right.
So, this is one of those.
After you send those texts, I'm sure you feel a sense of like, okay, like it's done. I'm relieved.
There's a weight.
It's over.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, one, it didn't really end things. Like, I was sending a text because I went on a date with someone that was like, lived in another town. And I was like, and they come here a lot. I am in the city a lot.
I work there.
Right, and you go, and I'm working through like, we went on, a date, and and it was a very nice date.
You're doing the math in your head, right?
I'm doing the math, and while I'm doing the math, and that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing the math while kind of making some space so he has a
Right.
way out. You know, it's like the equivalent of like looking for the exit.
Well, he's not investing more while he's debating.
Right. Right.
Yeah. Which is the better thing to do? I think it's way worse to do the opposite thing and like pretend like everything's normal, and then the person's like, "Oh, so we're dating," and they're like, "What?" Like, this is like, at least like you're getting a warning.
Right.
You're getting like a sign. Like, it's kind of, I can see why you're like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like,
Well, you go, what was his plan? He didn't really have a plan. He more had, let me
what he
think
was
of-
not
I'm thi-
doing.
what
He
he-
wasn't going to invest more.
Right.
Yeah. And I think it's worse to invest more and then pull out. So
That's what she said.
I had a feeling that was coming. That's it for today.
We solved dating again.
We'll be back on Wednesday. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast.
Philadelphia!
Please buy a ticket.
Adrian!
Please buy a ticket.
Please.
Bye. The U Up podcast is produced by Sean Kilby, Maddie Paul, and Jorge Morales Pico. Editing by Jorge Morales Pico. Social media by Maddie Paul. Be sure to follow at u.up.podcast on Instagram and send us your emails to uup@betches.com.